Hello, 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 New Haven, and welcome back to Arts Respond on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, New Haven. Arts Respond is a collaboration between the New Haven Independent, WNHH Community Radio, and the Arts Council of Greater New Haven, where I work as the editor of the arts paper. I'm your host, Lucy Gellman, and today I'm really excited to be here with Chase W. Dillon, who is a young and very talented actor. You might say, Chase Dillon. I recognize that name from Haunted Mansion, from the Underground Railroad, from The Harder They Fall, The Book of Clarence, or because he has deep, deep Connecticut roots. And that is largely what we'll be talking about today. We'll also be talking about some passion projects that he has up his sleeve. In solidarity with the American Writers Guild, we will not be talking a whole lot about studio projects today, but we will be talking a great deal about just like creativity. And so this feels really good. The sun came out for you, Chase, at least here in New Haven. I know you're in Atlanta right now. It looks like it's shining there too. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So I love to get into the Wayback Machine with artists. And sometimes the artists I'm talking to are elders. You're very young. So it's a different situation. But I love to talk to folks, especially about their roots and what got them into acting. And I know that for you, this is a story that is also a Connecticut story. So I would love to start there.
Yeah, when I first got into acting, I was 7 years old. I just always dreamed of being an actor. I had dreams of being on stage and, just being on TV and things like that. And, I grew up off of watching Nickelodeon and Disney like any other kid. But I was really emotionally and, connected to it. And so I was like, this is something that I really want to do. So I told my mom one day, and I was getting ready for school, told my mom, and I was like, Mom, I want to become an actor. She was like, okay, the day will come. And out of the blue, acting agency based out of Connecticut reached out to us and was like, we need kids and to do a boot camp so they could get into acting, modeling, singing, and all that. So I did the boot camp, went to Las Vegas, and they picked a handful of kids to go to Las Vegas for a showcase. And went to Las Vegas, and that's when I got my manager, agent, and 2 weeks after that, I booked my first role.
That's awesome. And I know also, like, tell me about, if any, the role that Connecticut plays, because I know, and we'll talk about this a little bit more. I know that, Marcella Monk Flake and Dudley Flake and the Monk Youth Jazz and Steam Collective has become a really important part of your story. And I know that the state has too. In the Hartford Current a couple of years ago, I think it was 2021, it may have been before that. Um, Someone I think described you as like a DC based actor, and you were like, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm I have Connecticut roots.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I grew up in Connecticut. That's my home. I have a lot of connections there, you know, and Connecticut did play a big part in it because, out of the people that I know and I'm just connected to it, and they connected me with a lot of things. The mayor gave me a day, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so, yeah, but Connecticut's my home, and I never forget where I come from. As anybody else should, they should never forget where they come from, and Connecticut is where I come from. So,
And and I think
and
it oh,
oh,
sorry. I didn't mean to cut
no, yeah, but yeah, and Miss Marcella, my aunt, she is my singing coach, and so we do music. And my uncle Dudley, we do music. He plays the piano for me, and that's also been a big connection. Them and their kids as well. with the singing aspect as well. It's singing and music.
I love that. And for you, so some parents, so I would say when some kids tell their parents, I want to be a creative, I want to be an actor or a director or a writer, the parents are like, okay, that's cool, but can you also be like a doctor or a lawyer, or like you can do your creative thing as your side hustle, but I don't want you doing it full time. And it sounds like you were just surrounded by so much love and support in the arts from the get.
Yeah. So, yeah, my family comes from, doctors, lawyers, and things like that. And I do have a few actors in my family, but not many. But my mother actually used to be a mentor for kids and young adults in the arts. And I didn't know this when I first wanted to become an actor. And she put all that aside, to take care of me when I was little. She put all that to the side and was like, okay, I'm gonna settle down, take care of my son. And I didn't know any of this. And she was like, okay, well, guess we getting back started in it. So yeah, she's been you know, uh, an amazing mother to me and helped me follow my dreams because that's her goal as well, to help kids follow their dreams and do whatever they want to do. And so, yeah, and I have a lot of people in my family and as well as honorary family, that's really supportive of me, and a lot of honorary family in the acting industry. So yeah.
And I love that I feel like this is exactly where I was going to go next. One thing that has become really important in your work is not just like nurturing your own career, but also making sure that you give back to other folks, which you've already been doing as a young actor and a young philanthropist, which I think is pretty amazing, frankly.
Thank
Some people hoard the wealth, they hang on to the wealth. That's clearly not what you're interested in doing. And so I'm wondering if you can talk about building out a network of support through which you're able to give back to young people, to community members, and to folks specifically in Connecticut and everywhere.
Yeah, so well, my mom uh has been doing philanthropy work since she was 17, probably even younger than that. And so I was always used to sit in the back of the car or be with her. They call me her little road dog because I would always be with her. And I just saw her passing out, turkeys, hats, coats, gloves, and all that. And I'm just in the little carrier because I'm a little baby. And then when I grew up to crawl and walk, I just really fell in love with the thought of helping people and getting people on their feet. And so when I started walking, started passing out turkey, doing the same thing, and it's always been a passion to me, and I'm really emotionally connected to it, because I hate to see these people in these bad states right now, and I just want to do as much as I can to help them. And so we've been feeding the homeless and the people that need it in New Haven for countless amount of years, and we fed over 1 million people during and over the pandemic as well. And so yeah, it's just really my passion. My mom, I got it from my mom for sure. And so we do that through our organization called KIEDC, Kingdom International Economic Development Corporation. I know it's a long name. But yeah, so it's really my mom who got me into it, and I'm really glad she did.
I love that. And the other, I feel like part and parcel about that is the Youth Humanitarian Awards, which we're in the third year of, and that's happening a week from today. September 15th is the first day, which is a Friday, and going through Sunday, September 17th. And I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about the spirit of that award ceremony, um, building it, and then specifically there's a scholarship component that's part of it.
Yeah, so when I got into the arts, it was hard when I got into it. very expensive, had to pay a lot of money that I did not have. And so I I thought of making this event as to get kids into the acting industry and not have to pay what I did. And so and also to teach parents and guardians to get their kids into acting, because a lot of kids want to get into acting or the arts in general, and their parents don't know how to get them into something like that. And a lot of parents are intimidated to get their kids into that because they don't know what they're signing up for. But my goal is to give them knowledge. And also with the event, on top of that, we are giving over $1 million in scholarships to kids to send kids to college, and for free. And so we have partnerships and scholarships from Stanford University, um, what's the other? Herzing University, and Morris Brown University, HBCU College. And so yeah, and that's also Trey. And then we are trying to build two children's specialty hospitals, free children's specialty hospitals in two locations, one in the US and one out of the US. And that's also helping the kids and helping people. And so yeah, that's really my goal, and that's where all this is coming from. I just love to help people.
Yeah, industry people coming down for kids that want.
Yeah, and we have, so for kids in the arts, we have industry executives, so they can meet and greet and try to push themselves into the industry and showcase their talent so they can get into the industry, and it's free for the children.
And there's been a lot of discussion. This is something that I feel like across the country, newspapers have been picking up this story of, actors and obviously writers who are finding like different avenues of work right now, because of everything that is happening with the writer's strike. And for anyone who's just tuning in and doesn't know where we stand or I would say myself, I stand in solidarity with the writers, and with the strike. I was raised a union girl in Detroit, so I feel like it's deep in my bones. But I'm wondering for you, like how the journey of acting has felt this year, and then more widely how it has felt, as you've sort of ridden this wave. And as we know in the arts, it's a really uneven wave, right?
Yes. uh well, I've been keeping relevant, as you could say. I've been working nonstop. I never stopped taking work, especially through the pandemic. I worked all through the pandemic, and so now it's a pretty rough stop. I get a little break, but I get a good break so I could do what I love and give back to the community. But yeah, it's been a great road, and a long time coming, and for more to come as well. And acting is just my passion. That's what I love to do. That's my playground, and that's what I just do. And I feel as though acting is like my free time. That's all I want to do. Put me on set, take me to a different country or state, I'll be there. And so I have some of my own projects. I'm also a director and producer, and I'm going to bring some projects to Connecticut. So yeah, we have all the writing aspects done and things like that. But since the strike hit, that slowed us down a little bit. But we're definitely gonna get back and rolling once everything cools down.
Yeah, and I definitely want to talk about that as well. Um, I do want to ask more, since you said it's like your playground. I want to ask more about that, because when you are living the life of an actor as someone as young as yourself, um, I think for some people they might feel like it's in direct conflict with like being a kid and being a teenager and like living your life. But it seems like maybe you don't feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, I did have to make a lot of sacrifices. I had to make sacrifices that a kid would usually do, that I no longer can do. But that really, the things that, the average kid does, it's not really, I don't really want to do those things. And, I, people call me an old soul. I like hanging out with adults. I fit in with more adults than I would with kids. So I think acting is like, I'm really dedicated to it. And yeah, there's stuff that I can't do anymore, but I think that it was a good sacrifice to make to do what I love.
I love that. So if you're just joining us here, it's WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. This is Arts Respond. I'm Lucy Gellman, and today I'm here with Chase W. Dillon. I'm really excited that we're talking. And before the end of the show, we're going to talk more about the Youth Humanitarian Awards, which are coming up in Atlanta, September 15th through 17th, which, if you're paying attention to the time, is a week from this Friday. I keep thinking we're still in August. So I'm in deep denial that it's already September, but it is indeed already September. But first, Chase, I want to talk to you about some of the projects you're excited to bring to Connecticut, and also why Connecticut. Like, it's your home and it's where your roots are. And also some people would be like, but it's Connecticut.
Yeah, I mean, grew up in Connecticut, um, made a lot of connections in Connecticut, and that actually grew my acting career a lot. And so I always thank Connecticut for, holding me down and helping me out through, it's my village, is where I come from. And like I said, you never forget where you come from. And so, yeah.
That's right. And for you also, like, what lit the spark? Because some folks act, but they don't do other stuff. And so, you're acting, you're interested in writing, you're interested in directing. What lit the spark for you?
I mean, I'm just the type of person that feels as though at least I should have more than one profession. Um, and I like having more than one profession. And so, and when I'm on set, they let me create and they let me improv, and that's what I like to do. I like to improv. And so that really poured into writing. And, when I did the Underground Railroad, I worked with the director, Barry Jenkins, and he inspired me to become a writer and a director. And so did James Samuel. And so, those are the people that really set me off and and that's where I wanted to, have multiple professions from. And so, yeah.
And also, like, how do you deal, since you mentioned the Underground Railroad, and this is something that last year, so a year ago, you paid a very special visit to the Monk Youth Jazz and Steam Summer Camp, which is at Davis Street School in New Haven. And one of the things that Miss Marcella Monk Flake asked you about was, that show was amazing and also really emotionally exhausting, I'm sure, for the folks who were in it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but I can't really talk about
Yeah, I got you.
and things like that right
Yeah.
now. But
So I will say, like, when you are emotionally exhausted, how do you mind your mental? How do you feel? Like, how do you get through that? Right? Because that's something that is not unique to acting, but I think when there are creatives and performers, they leave so much of themselves on a set, and then they have to go take care of themselves. Like not just their physical bodies, but also their souls, right?
right. Yeah, I mean, the thing that I've done is it would be emotionally draining to other people, but for me, I got God, so I would just pray to him and he would just give me the strength to fight through whatever task I had to do or anything like that. And that's the one who I really thank for everything, every my even me standing on this ground right now is because of him. And yeah, so nothing has really been emotionally draining for me. And I never really had to step back, but it is good to step back sometimes and, just figure out what you want to do to go forward. But I just never had that problem because of God, the village that I got, my mom, and so yeah, it's just been a fun thing, and I always make it out to be a fun thing. I never, set my heart when I always go into the field. I always, as soon as they say action, I'm in the role. As soon as they say cut, I'm out of it. I'm chasing again. So I never stick to that same feeling when they say cut. Always end it right there, and then just keep doing it over and over and over again.
I also want to ask about the Youth Humanitarian Award since they're coming like right up like a freight train. Um, there are wonderful days of workshops, there's an award ceremony, and then of course the scholarship piece, which is front and center. And what can folks, expect, or if folks have never heard of this and they think, I want to know more, talk to me about that. You've talked a little bit about why you got into this work, but how are you building? Like because it's very clear to me that you are constantly thinking about how to build.
Yeah, so Youth Humanitarian Award just it's a 3-day event, September 15th, 16th, on the 16th, an award ceremony on the 15th, and we're on the comedy case as well. And Tiffany Haddish is hosting. Haddish and Friends was alongside his my bunch of comedians are coming out raise money for the kids and for our organizations. And so on the 17th, we're doing a showcase, and that'll be in front of executives for the arts, for whatever it is that the kids want.
Hold tight, y'all. Welcome back. Sorry about that. I think there was a little reception issue, but you're back.
Okay. Did we go out?
I think there was a little freeze, but you're back and you sound beautiful.
Okay.
So thank you so much for popping right back in. I
Oh
appreciate it. This is community radio at its best.
yeah. Yeah, so we got those the golf tournament, celebrity golf tournament, the comedy show hosted by Tiffany Haddish alongside Michael Blackson. Um, the we're having an award ceremony the 15th. Oh, the award ceremony is the 17th. And then we're having a showcase on the 16th. No, the 15th. Or no, showcase on the 16th. It's a whole bunch of stuff. But if you want to get more information about it, you can go to youthhumanitarianawards.com, or you can go on my Instagram, Chase W. Dillon. Click the link. You can see everything you want to see there.
I love that. And just while we're on this, shout out also how folks can find you if they're thinking, I really want to know more about this young man's career, which y'all should.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, Chase W. Dillon. That's where I'm usually at, as well as other things, Facebook, Twitter, all that. You can follow me, Chase W. Dillon.
So I also want to ask you, when you get back to Connecticut, what are some of your favorite things to do?
That's a good question. I like to, really just be with family. Like when I go back, because I'm gone for so long, months at a time, sometimes even years. So I like to just go back, hang out with the family, spend as much time as I can with them. And yeah, that's what I go back to when I go to Connecticut.
And school is fun for you because you attend the collegiate school.
Yeah, so I also attend Stanford University, but that's not in Connecticut, obviously. Um, so yeah, I also attend there.
I was gonna say we can just absorb it into Connecticut. I think they wouldn't like that, but yeah. Yeah. No, and do you, I mean, like, is being a student something that you're pretty jazzed about?
Yeah, I'm, really thankful for the Stanford team, and especially Dr. Freedom Chinchitty, who has, brought me onto the team, and into the school. And it's really exciting, to be a part of such an amazing, story about how the school was, originated, and it's just really exciting to be a part of everything they have going on.
And you get a credit for life experience.
Sorry?
Oh, that was something in the background.
Um, and for you also, does it feel like a juggling act, a balancing act, or is that just where your faith comes in? Like you're being a student, you're writing, you're acting, you're thinking about projects that you want to bring to Connecticut. There's a lot going on in your life right now, right?
Yeah, there is, but that makes it fun. That's all I do. It's just I like staying busy. That's all I want to do. And all this stuff is not really, I don't look at it as juggling or anything like that. I just, get it done. And if it's at the same time, it's at the same time. And I just get it done in different ways. And so yeah, but just staying busy, I love it. That's what I like to do.
That's so funny because my next question was going to be like, how do you relax?
Yeah, like I said, I don't like relaxing. I like to work because acting and, you know, helping people is just my relaxation. That's my playground. So that's just what I love to do. And yeah, that's what I consider as relaxation.
Yeah, and then also, I ask artists this because this show grew out of the fact that a lot of folks were pivoting during COVID and they were just figuring out like they had to, right? We were all locked in our houses. And so I love asking people like how do you as an artist also practice self-care? Like you're pouring so much of yourself into both creative projects and into other people. How do you then like step back from that and take care of yourself?
You know, I really say just family. That's like my my self-care, my calm down, just being with them, being around their circle, and just being there talking about it, things like that. That's really self-care for me. And when I'm not working, I play video games, obviously. But yeah, but really family is really the thing that, yeah.
And video games. I mean, that's like totally age appropriate. I love it.
Yeah.
Like travel.
Um, well, Chase, thank you so much for coming on, for joining me today on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven, the sister station to the New Haven Independent. Can you shout out one more time how folks can find you if they're interested? And I always say artists should get the last word. So also anything else that you'd like to share?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Chase Instagram at Chase W Dillon, and I'm on all the platforms. So TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Just look up Chase W Dillon and I'll be there.
Beautiful.
And you can come to Youth Humanitarian Awards, look it up, youthhumanitarianawards.com, get your tickets. And we're starting in a week, so get your kids into the industry.
You got it. Chase, thank you so much for being with me. And I know Mama Dillon is in the car too. And so thank you, Mom. We love moms on this show. And we love moms at the Arts Paper, at the Arts Council, and at WNHH and the Independent. Mamas make the world go round, truly. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Have a beautiful weekend. I hope the sun shines for you. And have a beautiful award ceremony.
Thank you so much. You guys have a beautiful.
Thank you so much. Take care.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye.
And thank you to Harry
Oh,
Droz,
God.
who is the magical person behind the radio controls. Harry, we appreciate you. Play us out.